Update. Am I the a-hole for telling a coworker she doesn't get special treatment just because she's sad? Original post. This title makes me sound like a jerk for sure, but hear me out. I work in a small office building for an estate company. I've been working there for 6 months now. In November, a coworker of ours, I'll call her Lena to make it easier, came out as bi to us while we were grabbing dinner after work on a Friday. She told us she'd known for about a month and had been sitting on it to come to terms with it. She said she was planning on telling her boyfriend that night, but wanted our opinions first. I understood it because most of the people at the table were her best friends. We were all civil with each other, and we were all girls, so maybe she wanted a girl's perspective. Anyway, the weekend went by, and she returned to work absolutely wrecked. I'm talking puffy eyes, messy hair, and wearing the same clothes from Friday. I heard through the grapevine that her boyfriend didn't take it well and dumped her. They'd apparently been together for 4 years, so she was obviously distressed. For the whole next week, her performance was absolutely horrendous. No work was done. No meetings were attended. Nothing. Our team leader is good friends with Lena, so she divided Lena's workload among the rest of us, just for the week, she said. But this didn't stop after a week. It continued through December and January, and now we're in February. Yesterday, the team leader decided to give me one of Lena's projects because it would have been her 5th anniversary with her boyfriend. I said no. I already had my own work. Why should I be doing someone else's job while she gets paid for doing absolutely nothing? I'm already struggling with my salary, and now I'm expected to handle double the workload? The team leader threatened to write me up, so I went to HR and told them everything that has been happening. I showed them the emails where the team leader reassigned Lena's work to us and told us to be patient. During lunch break, Lena tried to corner me. She told me she's going through a rough time and that I should be supportive. I told her I was supportive, but at this point, she's just milking it. She comes and goes as she pleases because the team leader covers for her. She doesn't work because her tasks get handed to us, and it's not fair. I told her that just because she's sad about being dumped doesn't mean we all need to pick up her slack. We all have our own lives and problems, but we don't make them each other's responsibility. She called me a C-word, and I walked straight back to HR and reported what happened. They were both called in for a meeting, and according to the same grapevine, she's now facing possible termination. I don't think I was wrong for going to HR. I'm not going to do someone else's job while they hand it in and take the credit. However, I do think I probably shouldn't have said what I said. 4 years is a long time, and she did look absolutely wrecked. But at this point, it was getting ridiculous to still expect special treatment. Am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments before reading the updates. Not the a-hole. 3 months for an issue she created? I understand compassion for a few weeks, but I agree, it's now taking the piss. Honestly, unless you're planning to cheat on your partner, why does it matter if you're bi? I never understood that. A boyfriend could like men too, as long as he's not thinking he can have his cake and eat it too just because he's bi. I'm thinking she didn't just say she likes girls too. She was probably expecting a threesome, or to be able to have 2 partners. Now that you mention it, there were some additional details shared through the grapevine about why they actually broke up. I didn't want to include them, but I'll just say, his sister was mentioned. You can figure out the meaning yourself. I didn't write a lot of details, even though I know the whole thing, and it's messy, because I didn't want to air her laundry publicly. But I'm telling you, the boyfriend was in the right. If she can't function at work, she should be on sick leave, not getting a free ride on her coworkers' backs. You did what you had to do, not the a-hole. Exactly, and the office needs to hire a temp to take up some of the workload. Yeah, 4 years is a long time, and sometimes you'll need a couple, sick or vacation days off. But usually after that, work is a good distraction to give your mind a rest from thinking about the breakup too much. Back at my very first job in the late 80s, my supervisor was dumped by her longtime live-in boyfriend. She was devastated and did have a few days off work to regroup after trying to work the first day after the bust-up. She came back to work and was on her A-game, riding me like she usually did. Me and the boss covered for her no problems, but he did not make me do her work. The supervisor needs an arse-whopping. Now for the first update. Hi, since a lot of you wanted an update on Lena and the team leader, here it is. I also wanted to answer a few questions about Lena. 1. Lena didn't cheat, at least not that we know of. What I heard is that she didn't want to get with the sister physically. She apparently said she has suspected she was bi for a few years, since high school. But what really confirmed it for her was her boyfriend's sister. Apparently that's why they broke up, not because she was queer. 2. Why we let this go on for so long? It's because this is kind of what our team does for each other. For example, a month after I was hired, I fell and broke my right arm. It was completely useless, and I couldn't get any work done. It took me a week to learn how to do things with my left hand, and they helped me through it all. Also, another coworker of ours found out that his wife had cancer a few months ago. He had to take care of his sick mother, who is in a wheelchair, his sick wife, and their toddler. For 2 months, we covered for him, did whatever work he couldn't do, and sometimes even took over his assignments so he could sleep a little. This stopped when he told us his sister finally came to help at home, and he returned to doing his full workload. So helping out in this team wasn't something out of the ordinary. 3. No, Lena's work wasn't all dumped on me. If it had been, I would have gone to HR a long time ago. It was divided among all of us. 4. Why Lena told her co-workers before her boyfriend. Most of the girls at that table were already her besties, except for me and 2 other girls. We were civil with Lena. Maybe she wanted another girl's opinion? I honestly don't know why she told us. 5. Yes, most of us are on the younger side, early 20s. Also, just because a woman pulled this crap doesn't give anyone an opening to bash women wholesale. I believe that's everything. Here's the update. According to the grapevine, HR demanded a mental evaluation or doctor's note from Lena, stating that she was actually struggling mentally over the last few months. Apparently, if she really was, they'll give her unpaid leave until she finds a therapist. If she wasn't, she'll be let go. I don't know if there will be any repercussions regarding the paychecks she received without doing actual work. Nothing is known about the team leader, but she didn't come in yesterday, and no one is talking about her. Lena's friend group is giving me dirty looks and whispering about me in the lunchroom like high school girls. But at least 47-year-old Marie is happy she no longer has to do extra work, and she brought us cookies. Some coworkers came up to me and thanked me for speaking up. They said they were waiting until our annual meeting in March to tell the actual CEO about it, but they're glad it was resolved before then. I guess that's the sum of it. If I hear any news, I'll make sure to update you guys. Thank you for the support. She wanted his sister? Ain't no way I would let anyone give me dirty looks when she did this to herself. I want to know what happened to the team leader. I'd also tell HR about the mean girls. Definitely OP needs to tell HR about these mean girls. Also, if Lena's besties feel so strongly about this, why didn't they take on all of Lena's work? It'd be interesting to know how much of Lena's work they were doing versus OP and other employees. Well, I know what kind of general distribution I'd be betting on LOL. Very best case scenario, it was divided equally. Far more likely, anyone who wasn't part of the in-girl crowd found themselves getting assigned the same amount of work on paper, same number of extra projects everyone else has to take on or whatever, but ending up consistently having to put in more extra hours than the mean girls. Not the a-hole. We're all overworked and underappreciated. She can take sick leave if needed. We are all going through stuff. She blew up her own life like a big girl with zero preparation. Now she can deal with the consequences, which includes doing work while sad. Today I'd be okay, but in all my previous jobs, I would have had to cope, or I would have lost my job. Jobs tend to be crap like that, but it is what it is. Her piss-poor preparation shouldn't be an emergency for you. Final update. Lena is most likely getting fired, y'all. Her desk was cleaned out yesterday, and there hasn't been any mention of her. They're even interviewing new people, I'm assuming for her role. As for the mean girls, I did talk to HR about it, and they held a meeting on Wednesday regarding creating a hostile work environment. The mean looks have finally stopped. And now the one you've been waiting for, the team leader has been transferred to another team. Our new team leader is the coworker whose wife has cancer. I'm honestly so happy for him because this means a significant raise and a more flexible work schedule, and he definitely needs both. Thank you all for the support. Last story. Am I the a-hole for kicking my husband's family out of my home during family dinner? I have been with my husband for 8 years. We have a 2-year-old daughter together. For the first 6 years of our relationship, my husband could not hold a job down to save his life. It truly did not bother me the way some people would think. I was in the medical field, made very good money, and he didn't ask for much. He was also very good to me, so 0 issues. But it was linked to untreated ADHD and depression. During those 6 years, I was paying all of our bills. As much as I hate to put it out there, I was all but supporting his family as well, his sister and brother specifically, who are both older than me and my husband by 4+ years, and while less frequently, his mom. During those 6 years, I gave these people right around $50,000. Money for mortgage payments, car payments, food, sports fees for their children, etc., etc. It adds up super quickly. Never once did I ask for repayment. It didn't actually bother me until the end of year 6, when my mother-in-law showed up on my doorstep for a drop-in family meeting and told me that the whole family needed to chip in for one of the other family's lawyer fees. After I generously handed over $3,000, I found out that I was the only one who actually contributed. That was a gut punch and absolutely the last straw. I haven't given any of them a dime since, but again, it didn't bother me until that point, and I instantly took care of it and said no more. My husband was fully on my side. He told me to stop helping them prior, but I absolutely got pushback from the family. Around this time, I found out I was also 6 months pregnant, wasn't showing, still had my cycle, etc. So fast forward, my husband gets on meds for ADHD, gets fully involved in therapy, goes for his trucking license, and has been working steadily since I was roughly 8 months pregnant. He has only missed 1 shift, the day I went into labor, and is doing awesome. The meds were an absolute game changer. I have been a stay-at-home mom ever since. My husband makes around 4 times more than I was making at the hospital as well. Here's the problem. My husband refuses to help his family out financially, and for whatever reason, it has just been brought to my attention that I am being blamed for it. We had his entire family over for dinner, and this is the first time we have been around the entire group in 2 years. They don't even call anymore. We hosted dinner, and everything was going well. But then my mother-in-law asked me when I was planning to return to work. I said I had no plan to until my daughter was in school. She said something like, "That simply doesn't work." I questioned what she meant. She and my sister-in-law both went into how they feel it isn't fair to my husband that I have no income, and roughly beat around the bush about me not helping financially the way I used to, and that they can no longer depend on family for help, which was their way of saying that their cash cow is gone and it bothers them. I reminded them that I contributed to their lives for 6 years, totaling around $50,000, and I did more than my fair share. Mother-in-law then told me that she has paid back more than that because she has brought me old expired food bank food on several occasions, which we told her not to do, and brought over her old partially broken 1930s furniture for us to have, which again, we told her not to do. I told her that in no way was that repayment. On her alone, I had given over $8,000. Anyway, this argument escalated, mainly with mother-in-laws saying that it is unfair to my husband that I am contributing nothing to the household. I argued that I supported him and his entire family for 6 years. She said, "Surely he has paid you back. You haven't done anything in 2 years." So I snapped and said that paying rent for 2 years with 0 financial contribution exceeding basics is in no way paying me back, when he shouldn't have to, because he wasn't the one using me financially, and is not repayment. I then told everyone to get the heck out. It's important to note that my husband was not home for this. He had run to the store to get more of something we ran out of, so he wasn't present, or he would have stepped in. After some back and forth and me repeating for them to get out while they refused, I said I was going to call the cops. They finally started leaving. I told them they aren't welcome back here and that we will be going no contact. They were gone by the time my husband got back home. When I told him what happened, he went really quiet. He apologized for what they said and did while he was gone, but he also tried justifying it, saying they likely just meant they thought I should be working too to help him with bills. I asked why he was trying to downplay this, and he said, because everyone knows that households can't survive on one income in 2026. He also said something about how he could work fewer hours and spend more time with our kid if I got a job too. He works 50-hour weeks and is always home before 5 p.m. Keep in mind, he makes $140,000 a year, and all our expenses do not exceed $4,000 monthly. He has savings of almost $200,000, and we aren't hurting for money at all. I can't speak to him right now, as I am absolutely disgusted with this entire situation. I need validation and clarification that I am not wrong here. The only part that'd bother me is your husband going quiet and low-key defending it. That's the real conversation. His family disrespecting you is one thing. Him softening it after you carried everyone for years? No. Yeah, that's what bothered me as well. His family flipping out is whatever. But him, backing them up after I supported our entire home, him and his family, for 6 years, is just so disgusting to me, honestly. It truly makes me view him completely differently. So he'd rather be their ATM than a good husband and father? That's the thing that I don't understand about any of this. He actually refuses to help them out financially. So why he would defend this is beyond me. Now that he's working, the family can no longer survive on one income? Well, how did you survive the 6 years you were the only one working? It sounds like your husband is now part of the problem. I realize after our conversation that he is definitely part of the problem. If you and your family are being supported by your spouse for 6 years, and then you magically forget that ever happened once you get a job, then yeah, you're a problem. My husband and I are actually text arguing and have been since I posted this. And he just texted me saying that I didn't support him for 6 years and that my timeline is messed up. He says it was 3 years because he was working off and on, 1 month on, 4 months off, and helping.